Read option with that. So it's either Derrick
Bro.
Henry getting the ball right down the middle, getting a downhill run before he even hits the next level, or you crash to tackle that guy, and now you got Lamar Jackson in the open field against DBs, which I'm just going to give it to Lamar on that one.
Yeah, Minka's
So,
ankles are toast.
okay, ease up. All right, that's the best safety in football.
Welcome back to the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube. Bargain do swivel chairs forward. I'm your host, Zach Circlebark Burkle, here with the host today, Aaron and Joe. Go and say hi, guys.
Hi. If you like our content, be sure to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let us know what you think.
But other than that, let's go ahead and get into it. So, in this video, we'll be taking a look at the Baltimore Ravens off-season situation and what they can do to further improve the roster that they've already kind of improved by adding arguably the best running back in the league, Derrick Henry, to the squad alongside Lamar Jackson now. Quite the dynamic duo in the backfield for them. Best running quarterback in the league, right next to possibly the best running back in the league. Pretty scary combination. But before we get to the Derrick Henry addition, a couple subtractions from the team, couple players that they lost this offseason. The biggest one probably being Patrick Queen, who they unfortunately lost to an in-division rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's right, Joe. Let them know. But along with that, they also lost some other players, such as Jadeveon Clowney, who went down to Carolina. They also lost Geno Stone, who went to another in-division rival in the Cincinnati Bengals. But quite possibly the most important loss for the Baltimore Ravens this offseason, backup quarterback Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowler. Aside from those subtractions, obviously the most important move for the Ravens this offseason was the addition of Derrick Henry. So, Joe, with you being a fan of the Pittsburgh Steelers, hated rival of the Baltimore Ravens, what were kind of your feelings when the Ravens acquired Derrick Henry?
I have two very, very opposite reactions. The first one was hell yeah. As a football fan, you guys have already said it before on the pod that AFC North football, the physicality they play with, the games they play, makes me excited as can be to watch that. I mean, the collisions that are going to be happening with Steelers defense and Derrick Henry, that's going to be on football to watch. And then the other side of me said, why? Why the fuck did it have to be Baltimore? Like, go somewhere else. Stay in Tennessee, man. You've made your career there. You've made your living. Just stay. I go to Baltimore. It gets colder in Baltimore
It's
than it
true.
does in Tennessee. You're not gonna want to be around for that. No one likes getting hit. Yeah, getting hit 30, 40 times. But god damn, man. Like that is not the guy I want to see in a one-score game in week 13 when guys are already banged up a little bit. And now we have Derrick fucking Henry getting 12 carries in the fourth quarter because he's just getting going. Like that is gonna suck. Like it makes me so much more concerned about depth now. Like you need depth in the NFL, but if Derrick Henry's running the fucking ball, your starting 11 are not the same 11 ending that game. You
Yeah,
got to have rotation. You're going to have guys coming out the game. We had Robert Spillane a couple years ago rocked Derrick Henry in the hole. Robert Spillane was out for a little bit after that too. He was the one that delivered the punishment. So, what did Derrick Henry do? He popped back up, was right back in the huddle, rushed for another 80 yards in that game. So, you know, cool, Derrick Henry. It's good to see you on a team. Fuck you for doing it to Baltimore. Going to Baltimore though, they could have kept OBJ. I think that would have been the better trade. They could have kept Odell, and we would have. You have enough problems with Lamar Jackson, man. We have enough problems with that guy. Read option with that, so it's either Derrick
Bro.
Henry getting the ball right down the middle, getting a downhill run before he even hits the next level, or you crash to tackle that guy, and now you got Lamar Jackson in the open field against DBs, which I'm just gonna give it to Lamar on that one.
Yeah, Minka's
So
ankles are toast.
okay, ease up. All right, that's the best safety in football. Minka's the only guy I'm trusting on that one-on-one tackle. All right, ease up. If it's not Minka or TJ, we're screwed. Okay,
Yeah.
they're
Patrick
screwed.
Queen, you got Patrick Queen now.
Hey,
Because
hey,
Patrick
he's
Queen got
out for the
destroyed by that
vengeance.
daily. He knows.
Yeah.
He's not gonna go put himself in that situation. He's gonna. Patrick Queen's gonna miss going full speed and just trying to knock him off, like knock him out.
Yeah.
I'll take that because it's that or he embarrasses you with a juke and
Hey.
you fall flat on your face. So
He might land one in the next 4 seasons.
hey, just need one. And I don't like injuries, so just enough for a game. You know,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
a nice
Yeah.
bruised rib where he's just like, coach, I
This is
think I
where he
should
can't
sit
play the
this one out.
same.
Yeah.
Just that game, and then
Yeah, just a
next
little
week give
hampered.
us the MVP, Lamar back.
There you go.
Derrick Henry, just tee the fuck off. Somebody go get him. Someone's gonna have to. Cam Hayward's gonna have to play next to Minka, and he's gonna have to get a 10-yard head start.
No,
And then I think we have a fair shot at one-on-one tackle in that situation.
Oh my god.
Doesn't help that Derrick Henry also runs like a 4.4 speed too.
Yeah.
Don't
They don't
forget you
call
got to
him-
deal with that guy. Yeah, I don't know if Minka's taking him. I'm honest. That's a tough one.
Yeah, we've seen DBs try to tackle Derrick Henry. It usually doesn't go well.
Yeah. I'm not mad if
Usually
Minka
don't go
misses
well.
that tackle.
Yeah.
You gotta
He
make life
might dive
decisions.
the opposite way on purpose.
Yeah. You have to make a career decision when you play against Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
So if we're gonna be a good team and suck against Baltimore because of that guy, go ahead, guys. Take the day off. Let's get healthy. Let's tee off on Deshaun Watson next week.
Yeah. There you go. Aaron, what do you got to think of Derrick Henry joining a force like the Baltimore Ravens after the Chiefs just, met this team in the AFC Championship game this last year, and they seemingly get maybe a little bit better on offense?
I mean, yeah, going out and picking up Derrick Henry is a great pickup, but I don't know that it necessarily solves their problem.
I agree.
Their running game wasn't the problem last year. They had a great run game.
Mm-mm.
Haven't brought OBJ back yet. Their real only star receiver is Zay Flowers coming off of his rookie year, who showed promise.
Yeah, Duvernay's down in
would've-
Jacksonville now.
I would have much rather than prioritized a receiver. Now, granted, I could see them doing that in the draft. Could see a lot of teams doing that in the draft. They could do that in the draft, but it's the same team, really.
Yeah.
I think the Patrick Queen and the Matabike signings were bigger than picking up Derrick Henry. Younger guys that you can secure for longer versus an older running back that's in the latter half of his career.
Yeah, I had the same kind of feeling when the Eagles signed Saquon Barkley. I feel like they didn't really address their biggest concern. Because for the Eagles, their biggest concern was secondary on the defensive side. For Baltimore, their biggest concern was probably more pass catchers for Lamar to throw to. Because outside of, OBJ, who was hurt, a decent portion of the season last year, I believe. You had Zay Flowers, who was really, really good, but then Mark Andrews went down. And really, Lamar had to do a lot by himself, and that's a big testament to why he was the MVP this past season. So I do kind of see where you're coming from. I think they addressed the wrong issue. There was a lot of good receiver talent out there. You almost wonder if they could have thrown this money at somebody like, I guess, a Mike Evans. I don't know if they were wanting to spend money, that kind of money on an old receiver like that, though. But you mentioned that they could look in the draft to kind of shore up that position. And that was actually going to be the next portion of the video I got into, was that what do they want to do when it comes to the draft this next upcoming in 3 weeks or whatever. Do they go receiver then, since they clearly didn't improve at that position this offseason? Or do they maybe try to add to the defense, the offensive line? Obviously, I don't think they go running back. But, Joe, what do you kind of think the Ravens' plans come draft time should be?
Considering how deep this this receiving class is, I totally see them going for receiver at some point. But I think like the big hole that they need to fill outside of like losing Patrick Queen, they lost 3 starting old linemen this
Mm,
offseason. Like starting
yeah,
offensive linemen.
that's
Losing
rough.
one hurts if they're good. Well, they start, but that's gonna hurt. 2 starters, that's real tough to go and find 2 replacements. 3 though, like they lost Zeitler, John Simpson, and then I think it was Morgan Moses. I don't know if his first name's Morgan, but it's Moses. I think those were the 3 that they lost. Like Zeitler's a dog, so that's a big piece that you're already losing. Probably for them was the vet in there, probably the guy in the leader of that room next to Ronnie Stanley. But like 3 linemen, it doesn't matter who your damn running back is. If you don't got nobody to block, it's not gonna happen. Especially on a team that runs the ball like that. So I personally think if there's any guys on the board at linemen that they love, that they don't think is gonna, fall to them later in the draft, then I think they should go linemen. With that deep of a class we have at receiver, though, see the talent that they have at receiver, totally understand if your next goal is to get a third guy
Yeah,
or Lamar, because Mark Andrews is the guy. He's
yeah,
like you guys. They're like the Chiefs. The tight end's the one. A Flowers showed the potential to break the big plays. You need a third guy in there though. So I would personally take O line because there's no way you should be paying Derrick Henry money and paying Lamar Jackson, who's a dual threat quarterback, that kind of money, and then not go get them guys that can block for him. That would be the absolute worst thing they could do.
yeah. Aaron, do you kind of lean more on the offensive line or receiver end of the fence?
I mean, that makes sense, but it just feels like there are some teams that always go and they pick defense in the first round. And the Ravens just feel like one of those teams. And this, again, being a deep draft for seemingly all positions at this point,
Yeah,
but specifically DB, I could see them, maybe getting somebody to go opposite Marlon Humphrey,
I was
though
thinking
they
that
don't
too.
need it. That would just be absolutely filthy. And then they just sort of lean on their defense this year and um, score. I mean, lean on the defense with as good as their offense is going to be is kind of funny to say, but
Yeah,
I think they'll be able to get a good enough receiver, second, third round. I don't know if they necessarily need to press, um, but I also could see them moving up in the draft. I think they're going to need to move up if they want to get one of those top tier offensive linemen.
yeah. I could see them going defense too. Maybe if they don't already have somebody in place, try to replace that Geno Stone position. Although first round for a safety seems a little early, in this class specifically at least. So we'll just have to wait and see what the Ravens end up doing. Maybe they sign or re-sign OBJ or sign a different receiver before the draft comes, and it becomes more of a clear picture for us. But as it stands right now, they could really go either offensive line or receiver. Kind of like Aaron mentioned, it'd be the Baltimore Ravens thing to go defense heavy first, though. So I don't know. But unless y'all got anything else, I think that'll do it for this episode with the most unprofessional sports channel on YouTube, Swivel Chair Sports. I've been your host, Zach Circle here with my co-host today, Aaron and Joe. Go and say bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed us. Other than that, deuces.